just do his replay later or something.
Do you want to go first, Pisces, or should I do one of my replays?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I'll stream on this channel so you guys can watch it that way. And then I'm streaming on Twitch. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch it, but it is what it is. And I'm recording it, so I'll just post a VOD later.
So, do I need to send you my match ID, or it's also just my two most recent games?
Which game?
The CM one and the Omni Knight one. I mean, those are the only two support games I've played in months, so.
22-minute win?
Yeah.
That's pretty hype. You want me to look at this one?
Sure, yeah. The second game is a much worse laning stage because my allies were just like screaming at each other continually, which is super fucking distracting.
Yeah, it's rough. It's hard to like concentrate in games. Yeah. Your team's just like arguing with each other.
Yeah.
To, like,
this one is like
hope they don't tilt.
Yeah, this one is like an easy laning stage, and the second game is like a hard laning stage. Where I don't think I played very well in the second game. I think I did okay this game.
Alright, maybe we'll do one of yours, and then we'll do one of Pisces, and then if Xeno's not here, we'll like go to the other one.
Sounds good.
You're with a lone druid? It's like Alchemid.
Yeah, lone druid.
Maybe we should have started with a mine, because it's going to go from high quality to really low quality.
It's okay, man.
The lane is relatively easy because it's a lone druid against a off lane Void Spirit, which is kind of a terrible matchup for Void Spirit. You just get hit by the bear.
Yeah.
So it's easy, but like there's still stuff to look at because it's like, what do I do with the downtime? Like you have extra time, when your lane is easy to support. What do you do with it?
Right.
I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal there. Like, that ward is really good, and I feel like we could have set up on them more, but people weren't coming.
I don't think it matters that much. They had a bunch of heroes, so I don't think there's ever like a technically correct way to like play like rune engagements, unless it's just like somebody's like clearly not like going when they should be going. But other than that, it's like,
at least in pubs where people aren't going to be that coordinated.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what anyone else in your team is going to actually do.
Yeah. That's definitely a crapshoot. It's like good harass. Something that low-level players don't do a lot is just like get an efficient Q out and like take these trades.
Yeah, and it's part of why it's
already
easy.
You're like dominating. Like, even if it wasn't a lone druid, it's just like a carry that's free farming. Like this harass would already be like super effective and not something that low-level players would like do.
They also just next to each other for the first like 3 Qs, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, they were letting you do it, but low-level players also will let you do it. All right, that was really good, and now you're pulling, which is also really good. Why'd you do it that way? Do you think you did?
I thought I didn't have time, which I only got 1 creep, which is probably not good.
Yeah, I don't think you can go that way when it's not a ranged camp. When it's a ranged camp, that going that way works. But I think when it's a melee camp like this, I think you just have to go.
I actually wasn't even thinking about that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know what you were going for. Also, the speed camp, sometimes you can kind of get away with a 2-second later pull because it's like just faster.
Wait, does the creep just like peace out?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even pull.
Oh my god.
That's okay. Life. That's life.
Yeah.
We all mess up pulls all the time. So you're hanging around instead of trying to pull again. I guess it's like, okay. This lane you don't like have to pull. Like the lane was way up before, so it would have been good, but like the lane's like kind of just chilling. Kind of happy with that.
I think it's just bad positioning.
Yeah, you want to be over here. Because like if you're...
I don't think we can see her mouse.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, we cannot.
Yeah, you want to be on the left side of the creeps always. Playing on the right side of the creeps is... I think it's, like, almost always bad. Unless, like, just the fight's happening, like...
So,
you know,
I think my thinking was that, like, Mirana's higher than me and outtrades me. So I want to be on the right side so that I can set up my spells without having to just, like, take damage from her.
Right, like if you're trying to, like, focus on
Yeah, because I still think we can, like, kill
the...
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I just, like, died to their spells, so it's clearly wrong.
Yeah. Standing in the middle of the creep wave like this is a little nuts. Because once you do try and go on them, and you, like, draw aggro on yourself, and then you're, like, a CM with 600 HP sitting in the middle of a creep wave with 2 heroes who can use their abilities on you. It's okay. I like doubling down on the regen. Sort of reasonable. Easy D board.
You're gonna chase me. Then I notice this guy's, like, up here and low, so I just run at him.
I think here I would prefer to, like, fuck with his Void Spirit. I mean, he's already, like, not farming, but, like, given that you're full health and mana, like, I think I would just, like, use my spells on him and, like, hit him. Because this is just securing free farm for your lone druid. I mean, this guy's already chasing you, which is, like, kind of weird.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have kept running if I wasn't chasing. It's kind of a weird thing where, like, I normally would not make this play, but just because of the weird positioning. The fact that Mirana was low and that guy was just chasing me.
Right.
I was like, okay, I guess. I ended up being kill.
Hold on one second. I have to switch my headphones for whatever reason. My AirPods just, like, desync for no reason sometimes. Alright, say something?
Hello.
Okay, we're good. Let's switch over. Yeah, I don't know why. I like using my AirPods because I don't have to, like, put these, like, headphones over my ears, and then sometimes for no reason it'll just randomly desync, and the left and right will be like a half second off sound wise. What is going on? This crappy Bluetooth connection, the little USB dongle thing that I've got going on.
I like, literally wasn't even trying to dodge that arrow. He just, like, threw it when I was already moving.
Classic Maranas. Oh, rip, that guy almost died too. Not a big deal. I'm gonna pull here. I would even consider, like, unblocking my unblocking the hard camp now, depending on, like, if the lone druid, like, wants to be able to do it or not. So, like, at this point, you guys are, like,
because when you're ahead, like, it's your farm, not theirs.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And, like, even if they pull it, it's like you can just go contest the pull without any issues. This guy's just, like, soloing it. Pretty useful. So here I'd probably like to stack, and then if they, like, don't come back to lane, I would probably like to leave. Mirana came back. Like, if I don't see the Void Spirit come back, then I'd probably be happy to leave. Looks like he is coming back. So yeah, if he's still here, then you can still be here, because you definitely helped kill him.
It's stabilized and he's 6, which means that he's not, like, even if they commit everything, he's never enough.
Yeah,
he has health, they can't actually kill him.
Yeah, there's just this point as a support where, as position 5, where you don't want to be in your lane anymore.
Oh yeah, so I think I have to TP there, because our top, like, our mid rotated at the top, and it's an SF, so he's going to hit the tower really hard. So I think it's correct to TP here, but then the Void Spirit finds me and cancels my TP. I don't know how he sees me, because it's kind of unlikely they have a ward.
I think you just came over to check what was going on with the pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that attempted TP. Like I said, you want to kind of be looking for an opportunity to leave. Oh, rip, now they have a DD, that sucks. Oh man, this is not ideal. Well, it's kind of an unfortunate sequence of events. You'd really rather your... I guess they're just gonna feed. You'd really rather your carry not have to, like, come. It worked out. It's kind of lucky.
Our whole fucking team showed up, which is wild. like to a mid tower that is dead, but didn't work that. It was just really weird.
Yeah. Alright, so you're stacking and then presumably gonna run top?
Yeah.
Chad gamer move.
I mean, I have just the 3 points in W and we're so ahead, like, you should run them now.
Oh yeah, this is exactly what you want to be doing. If you want somebody to be running in front of you, ideally. The axe is here now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Classic.
I don't know what's going on here. Like, I don't know why he farms that camp instead of hitting this tower. It's
Because he's bad.
mega weird.
That's all. Yeah, if you're the core in that situation, please just... Like, if you have, like, 2 supports, like, sitting behind you waiting to push the tower, please do not just go hit a jungle camp and, like, make your 2 supports, like, positioning completely worthless. I think what you did was fine, though. Like, just push it out yourself if the axe is, like, not gonna do it. Like, against better opponents, like, they'll just, like, kill you. Like, they'll just rotate in the Void Spirit and kill you because your axe was, like, jungling. But
yeah, like, I was just, like, at the tower and I'm a CM, so, like, if someone DPs, I'm probably dead.
yeah. But, like, that's the thing, right? In a higher level game, that wouldn't work, but in a higher level game, your axe probably wouldn't be jungling that camp either, so.
Yeah. There's, like, a variety of, like, weird low-scale things in this game. I swear this is an Immortal game.
I believe you. I believe you. Some people just like to play Posture off lane, Void Spirit.
I like to play Posture off lane Void Spirit.
Yeah.
I just don't like to play it into a lone druid.
Yeah, I think everything you did was pretty good. Obviously, it was like kind of an easy lane with the matchup, but like you didn't totally misplay it except for that one like positioning mistake.
Yeah, I think I had a fucked up pull and the positioning mistake, and I maybe shouldn't have run at the Mirana. I should have zoned the Void Spirit more.
Yeah, well, just in that situation where you're like full HP, full mana, and then your like carries like free farming a huge wave. You know, it's like, all right, if I can just like keep their off laner, like, granted he wasn't really in a position to like pressure your carry anyways because he was like behind.
Yeah, that raises the question, like, if it was a harder matchup, would I have done the same thing?
Right.
And that it is incorrect, or like was I thinking subconsciously about the fact that he's strong? I don't know.
Yeah, I think item-wise, it would probably be good to pick up, like, a Raindrop and a Fluffy Hat, and then go this Glimmer. Because you're basically only susceptible to getting bursted by, like, SF Void Spirit or Tiny. And given that you guys are ahead, this Pig Bull's kind of nice with the wand. If you have a Fluffy Hat and a Raindrop, I don't think they can full burst you ever.
Yeah, the Raindrop is definitely correct. I don't know why I didn't buy one. I do buy Fluffy Hat on this hero. I was thinking about Fluffy Hat versus Cloak, and I just decided to go for the Cloak because they're like all magic damage. Like if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be magic damage, right?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with the Glimmer choice. I kind of get that. You would also have some slot if you had Raindrop and Fluffy Hat, and then had this Cloak. But you have one slot for like trading stuff out, which I think is like kind of reasonable. And like, if you have the Fluffy Hat and the Raindrop and this Cloak, you're like literally unkillable, which is crazy as a CM. But
yeah, that makes sense. I should definitely buy.
If you can like double down on being unkillable as like a squishy support, it just makes the game so impossible. Like they can't pick anybody off. Or if you just live like 5 seconds longer than you should, it actually like matters so much. They have to like dump a bunch of spells into killing you, and then your strong team will just like obliterate them. Pisces, do you have a replay?
Yeah. I'll just send it here. That's probably easiest.
A what?
I was just gonna send it there.
That works.
In general.
Yeah.
We won this one, but like, I played extremely average. I played and fucked up things as usual. We were against Zeus Brew off lane, and I was laning with Meepo safely.
Typical laning phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's check it out. Zeus, Brew, Meepo, Venge. How do you think that should go?
They have some potent slows, but I feel like it's hard to stay on top of us if I just can always stun the Brew. I don't think we have any kill potential whatsoever. I just started Stick for like the sustain, just throw out spells, and Brew collapse for CS a decent bit. Otherwise, trading generally, farm. I don't know what you guys think.
Trading farm. If like both sides are like playing like if neither side is like massively fucking up, like do you think one side is favored over the other in terms of like coming out ahead in CS at like 7 minutes?
Probably them. Probably Zeus Brew.
Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. I think your guys' lane is god awful. I think they
Okay, well, I didn't think it was quite that bad, but
well, like you said, you have like very little aggressive potential on them, unless Zeus like just massively fucks up, which I guess is possible.
Well, what level does Meepo get his second Meepo at? Because like the thing I would be thinking about is how do I get Meepo XP?
I think it's level 3. I also, Meepo safe lane is its own interesting idea.
yeah, I mean, this was another RD2L game.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. In terms of like matchups where you don't think it's going to go particularly well, or you think they're just like naturally in an advantage, do you like have an idea of like what sort of game plan you'd want to be implementing as the support?
Generally, I just try and keep the pause 4 off my pause 1 if I can without feeding too much. I played really bad the first game of this series, and that kind of got the feeding out of my system. But yeah, my general mindset is just if I can make it a 1v1 and it's not an awful matchup, like, I don't know, Viper into a random melee hero, then I'm usually pretty happy with that. My general mindset.
How would you go about doing that? Like keeping their supports off of your core?
So here I was a little afraid that Zeus would just outtrade me. I don't know if that's true. I haven't really played much against Zeus Pause 4. So I was kind of like avoiding him here. But usually I would just kind of like try and drag them over to the jungle, over to the right side there, and trade as much as I can, burning through regen in order to do that.
Right. Okay.
My laning phase is by far my weakest, like, understanding wise.
Right.
Because I like just started being a pause 5 player.
Okay.
That's my general thoughts.
Yeah, so I would say that if you're in a lane matchup, it's going to be really hard where you don't necessarily offer a ton. Like you're not like a ogre or an undying where you're like fronting for your core. You just kind of like stand behind your melee core and like use your spells, and you're not really happy to get gone on yourself because like your Meepo's not going to be helping you. So like you don't want them to be going on you 2v1. You kind of have the right idea of like wanting to like occupy the Zeus over on the side, like over here. But like the mindset you should have is to like basically play for pulls is what you should be thinking to do. And that means preventing them from pulling and trying to pull yourself. And if the Zeus plays passively, you'll get like free pulls off, which will like give you some like XP and gold while not stealing it from your meepo, and like generally pull the lane back. And otherwise, if the Zeus is stopping you, then like he can't be like fucking with your carry, right? And then you can stop if they're pushing the lane in, which probably they will do against you guys. Like they just naturally push out the lane faster than you if the brute is like clapping, and if I don't know, the Zeus ends up taking Arc Lightning. But then the pulls will like kind of help in that respect. Probably would also take stun. I don't know if I would ever take my W level 1 here, because like I don't see you guys like utilizing it, right? Like you'd want to take your Wave of Terror when you like can use it on them and then hit them several times, and like that's not really what's happening here. You're kind of like using it, but you're not really like engaging them, so you're basically just paying. I know it's like almost no mana, but if you use your stun, then like you can secure a range creep. You can kind of do it with W, but
I figured because
you can like be more aggressive
Meepo
and
also
like, mess up too.
Yeah, Meepo also has like poof to secure the range creep if it's not in like a really bad position, and I don't know. Stun's just really expensive, and I only brought the one mango, so I ended up just choosing the minus armor early.
Right.
But obviously, stun is like more consistent for securing range creep, like putting in some damage, etc.
Yeah, well, even
That was
you don't
kinda
have to
debate.
use it if there's not a good opportunity. Oh, this is a good pull though.
Fortunately, the Zeus blocked like every single one of my pulls.
So in this situation, when he blocks the pull, like that's fine. Like he should do this. Like this is correct. But given the lane situation right now, of like they have 3 creeps left, one of which is gonna die soon, and you have 4, 5, 6 creeps, 7. One of them's gonna die soon. You need to like go look to pull again, like the small camp. 147. Like the pull failed, which is life, and this is where you need to like go pull the small camp and tell your carry to like chill the fuck out and not die, because this is where a lot of carries die, is when you go pull right now, and like that's kind of on them because you've got like 5 creeps, right? And he doesn't need to go for this range creep, or this range creep died. I don't know. Sometimes there's a range creep and they're like your carry's like a psycho and like goes for it. But like if he's chilling and you're pulling right now, then the lane will like get fixed. Are you pulling right now? Oh. You just miss it. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I think Zeus drew the aggro at the last second.
Yeah, if you... It's like pretty minor, but I think... Let's watch exactly what happens here.
It looks like you would have been able to get this if it wasn't there.
Yeah, maybe the Zeus wasn't there. If you come over like 2 seconds earlier, I don't know. That pull is, if you're like there ahead of time. I don't know. I would kind of be like racing to get there ahead of time, and it makes it harder. Like it makes the Zeus have to play better to like stop you if you're like there ahead of time, versus like getting over there right at the last second. Like kind of made it really easy for him to cancel it.
Because you can just pull earlier. Like this is like a big win.
That last one, I really don't know why it didn't work.
He
I feel like that usually works. Oh.
I heard it. I didn't see it, but he bolted the creep here, which made them aggro him, obviously. So at least you're looking to play for pulls. You're like, what you did is like correct. It's good pressure. Moves away. Probably running out in the bounty rune there.
Wait, where's the other Meepo? Is it level 4?
Maybe it's level 4.
Nobody knows how this fucking hero works.
I don't know, dude. I'm not a Meepo player. Maybe it's level 4. Presumably you'd have it. Not really ideal there that you drew the aggro. When you do draw the aggro, just try and like walk straight back up the lane so it doesn't like mess it up. Because like it kind of worked out here, but like if your creeps would walk past and then these creeps would walk past, it lets them like easily set up like super good lane equilibrium if they want. They should just take advantage of it. Let's go back. Because you got this pull off. Crash the Zeus. There's no real pull camp now. Okay. Yeah, this is like fine.
It's just staying in line with my thinking of like keep the Zeus off of Meepo.
Yeah. So they blocked your small camp here. Meepo dies. Good return kill. So like if you're like thinking that you only want to play for pulls, like I would have been looking to pull like 415, and you would have noticed before that like it blocked, like they blocked it, and you could have dewarded it, and then at 5 it would have spawned again. Because now you don't have a pull camp except for the big camp, which is just very hard to like get off. And okay, Meepo's just not coming back to lane now. Oh no, it's interesting. But see, like now you don't notice till 6:15. So if you'd been able to pull there, that would have been really nice. Long boots. Slow down a little bit. Space in the game is like pretty important, but I think it's pretty hard to do quickly. So you have no camp. Like I said, I would have liked to pull at 6:15 or 5:15. Even you don't have a camp.
I was staying here to stack, saw a Huskar dying, and then TP'd too late.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, that's life. I think like a good mid player would maybe say something like right away, like I need help, and then like maybe you could get a TP out faster. But it's not your fault. Right back here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So here my Huskar just went and stayed top. I can't explain why he did this whatsoever. So I just went mid because he wasn't there, and he wasn't coming to get rune or anything either. So
no, I get that. You definitely should be. Are you flying yourself a TP? Is that what's happening? No, you didn't fly yourself a TP. That's really bad that you didn't fly yourself a TP here. It's really, really important as support to like have a TP in this phase of the game. Cause like what I'm thinking here is like I get that your Huskar's not here and it like kind of leaves you in an awkward position, but like this will just happen, right? Like this play doesn't work. You get the mana boots. Your Huskar goes top. So like here, you can sit mid and get some XP. That's true, that's a thing you can do. But in terms of like having some impact, like I kind of want to see you look to rotate bottom. Kind of like hanging out, you get the rune. Like here, it's kind of too late because your Viper like dies, but that's what I would have been, like, what the fuck just happened? That's what I've been looking to do, is like rotate bottom. And like if you had a TP, you know, I think your Viper's just out of position and like feeds here. But like that's what you should be looking to do, is like kind of move bottom. And then when your Viper
Viper's
dies,
just a monstrous hero at this phase of the game, so playing with him is really good.
yeah, like when you've got like a hero that's farming jungle, you know, kind of like AFK farming, right? They're just defensively farming. And then, you know, your mid is like not playing the map correctly, or is just really weak. Even if he's really weak and playing the map correctly, you still don't really want to play with him. You want to be looking like the lanes have kind of broken down at this point. So you want to, as the position 5 here, especially as a pretty effective like early position 5, like you're really strong with your stun and you're about to have swap. You have really high impact in fights. You should be looking to play with your Viper, or like whatever core you have that like can possibly be having impact, and like you playing with the hero will like kind of double down on like the impact you guys can have. So like I don't really like what you're doing here of like chilling, even though your Viper's. Wait, what happened to your Viper?
He died. Huskar died top and Viper died bot. They just
No, he was walking out of base and then he walked back into base and I was confused and now he's TPing top. Wow.
we tried to set up a kill on the Zeus mid when Nyx was over there, but then we gave up.
Right. No, so your goal just needs to be to play with like your strong core. That's what your goal needs to be and like what you should be thinking to do. And like if they want to come mid and go for like a kill, like that's okay. But like if they want to play somewhere else, it's kind of on you to like go to where they are, not just like not try and set up plays around yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
like
sense.
The plays need to happen around where they want to be and where they are and where they want to go, not where you are. Like your Viper kind of totally griefed by TPing top here. I don't understand that TP at all. So playing bottom around your Huskar is the next best option. Like ideally, like I don't know. Ideally Viper's like kind of down here. But I'd be looking to play aggressively.
RD2L, so like you can tell your cores, just like come with me, I'll smoke you. And they'll probably do it. It's not a pub where they'll tell you to fuck off.
Right, yeah. If you so what should be happening right now is like kind of your Viper should be posturing down here. The Huskar should be farming, but like in a safer area, and the Meepo should kind of be like either the Meepo or the Huskar can kind of like defend the mid tower when the wave shoves in. They can kind of clean up the mid wave, and like pretty much nobody should be top right now, because you guys just don't have a hero that sits top and like defends the tower. Like this is not what Viper should be doing at this phase in the game. So
generally, this might. If you have advice on this, would be good. Generally, the team dynamic is like George, who's playing the Huskar, wants like all the lanes pushed out as frequently as possible, and so that's probably why it's just like, oh, our top's pushing in, we should send someone to push it out. Is kind of the thought process here, and yeah, in this case, maybe he thought this was safe farm because we have the 2 wards setting up for him in the jungle. That being said, like I feel like this is a very common situation, like TPing to lanes that just need to be pushed in rather than trying to come bot and putting pressure on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like conceptually, it is nice to like be pushing out all the lanes. At this phase in the game, like kind of the immediate post laning stage, sending a hero top as Dire or bottom on Radiant has to be like most of the time you don't want to do that. Like you guys should not care that much if they're pushing in your top wave at this point, because it really just kind of depends on the lineup. Like if you have a hero that wants to sit up there and defend it easily, like they can do that, like a Wyvern or a Treant. Usually it's a support or some hero with like a global ability like a Dawn or a Spectre. Like that's who would want to be top defending right now. Just given your guys' lineup, your Viper is like the only hero that like applies pressure at this phase in the game, unless Huskar's like snowballing, which he's like kind of not. Right, he's died twice. And he doesn't have his armlet at 9 minutes. So, given what's happening, the Viper needs to be bottom applying pressure, because this is where any pressure that your team is applying is going to be. And you and Nyx need to be behind him. And you guys need to be okay with like not being able to defend this top tower. And so that situation happens a lot, I think. And like not just RD2L, but like I see it in lower MMR games all the time. Like people kind of get fixated on defending their safe lane tier 1 tower. And sometimes it's okay to do, but like sometimes it's not. And your heroes just do not defend this tower well. Like nobody wants to be up here on your team. And if nobody wants to be up there, it becomes really awkward to defend it because somebody has to be up there to kind of like start defending it in the first place. And it's just like not what you guys want to be doing. Does that make sense? I don't know if
this is kind of a a common problem for our team. I actually think Viper's literally being gone on right now.
He is.
At the moment you
and
pause, too.
He shouldn't be up there in the first place is the problem. Not that he's like... Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, in terms of your impact, if you can kind of understand, like, based on the lineups you guys play, like, so your thought process should be, like, who do I want to play around, right? Because, like, the lanes broke down, and, like, where do you go, right? You go play around your strong core, which is, like, Viper in this specific game, right? In another game, it'll be a different hero. Sometimes it's your mid, sometimes it's your off lane. Usually your carry's just, like, kind of chilling and jungling or farming or whatever. So you need to identify who you want to play around. You need to, like, prioritize going to play with them, and you need to want to be playing aggressively on their tier 1 bottom if you haven't taken it yet. So, like, you can say, like, hey, I'm gonna come bottom to play with Viper, and, like, we'll pressure this tower, and then, like, that's when you're mid, right? And then he feeds, and you can be like, hey, like, just come back bottom, and, like, I'll be there, and then we'll keep pressuring, and, like, they can't kill you again because I'll be with you. Like, you can kind of direct how your core should play. If this is the alternative, is your Viper being top.
It's just hard because, like, obviously while playing, I've already got so many things I'm trying to think about and improve on currently. So, like, trying to, like, think about where my cores should be playing to, especially when they're, like, 2 or 3K higher MMR than me is something that will definitely be difficult.
Yeah, well, just think about it in terms of, like, what you want, right? Like, do you want to go play with your Viper up here?
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, you don't really want to do that on your hero. I mean, you don't have a TP anyways, so if you had a TP, you'd have the option to go play up here with him. But, like, do you want to do that? Conceptually, as a Dota player, regardless of what MMR you are, I mean, people learn this at different phases, but, like, you shouldn't want to, like, take, like, big fights here as, like, dire at this phase in the game, unless you're, like, crushing them, right? Like, you'd rather take the same fight here and take their tower off of it. So these are just, like, that's just kind of, like, what your mental game plan of, like, the game should be, and that, like, keys you in onto, like, hopefully your, I don't know, maybe your Viper needs to watch this. Or whoever on your team is calling for your Viper to go top needs to watch this and realize that it's just, like, it's just kind of griefing the map for you guys. Because now you and Nyx are down here alone. Your Viper died again.
You know, you actually did call him out for a bad TP in one of the replay reviews as well.
He TP top again? Oh, lordy. You guys win games? Are you guys still in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We got second in regular season.
It's wild.
But we have some issues that we're just getting away with.
Oh yeah, this is the Fear
what's
George
happening
game.
currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won you guys, right?
Yeah, we played week 1, right? Oh wait. No, I forgot what team you're on.
I'm on Alex team. I think we played second or last season.
Alright, so your Viper died again, and he TP top again. So here you just can't push this tower. And it's kind of funny, because this is what you guys should want to be doing. Like, this is, like, what you guys should be doing, but because you don't have a strong core with you, you can't do it. So, like, as the support, like I said, like, you want to be thinking, like, what strong core am I playing with, right? Right now, you're playing with no core. So, like, you can't pressure alone as a support. Like, it just doesn't work. And then you guys get kind of punished for it. So, like, when your Viper TP's top here, I mean, you really need to have a TP by this point. It's been, like, 3 minutes, I think. So that's something that you personally should probably work on. Maybe a raindrop as well. Raindrop's super value, but definitely a TP. And at this phase, like, you're like, okay, my Viper's top again. My Meepo and my Huskar are sharing my triangle. And you just need to chill, actually. The correct play is to just chill. Unless you, like, can for sure TP top and, like, kill somebody. Like, if you think you and Nyx TPing top can, like, kill this panda with the Viper, then you can go for that play. But otherwise, you have to chill. You have to, like, play safe and wait for them to shove it into you, and, like, the other support can, like, go mid. It's like nobody on your team's cleaning up the waves. And it's just correct to, like, chill, because your cores are playing really badly. They obviously have a ward here. I don't know if you guys like kind of picked up on that. He like did the same thing to your Huskar, and now he's doing it to you when they shouldn't have any vision here. Something to check for.
You got to work on the subtle art of getting your chorus to come to an objective with you.
Yeah, it's all support players have gone through that, or continually going through that. Some games you'll have cores that want to, and some games you just have cores that really will not want to, and you just kind of gotta play. You have to like play appropriately off their mistakes. So this TP is a mistake because
there's no cores here.
Not just because there's no cores here. I mean, if you guys like, if you had a core here and you were going to be pushing bottom together and you wanted to TP in to join it, that's fine. But like more than that, now if anything happens anywhere else on the map, like you just can't react. Like if they go on your Huskar mid, or if they go on your Viper top, and the call's made to like react, you just can't. And nothing was like happening immediately down here. It just wasn't urgent for you to.
Familiar.
So those TPs like can really hurt you. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter, and then like it's like whatever, like nothing happened for the next 80 seconds. But just the higher level game you're in, the more you'll feel the impact of not having that TP available, like right now. So unfortunate, right? Unfortunate D-ward. Alright, probably stop watching here. Just in terms of like covering only the laning phase today. Do you have any other questions?
I mean, no. All of that was like made sense. Obviously, it's a weird lane, especially since Meepo just left at like 4 or 5 minutes in.
Yeah, well, and sometimes that'll happen, where they do just leave. And when they do leave, the goal should kind of be, you have to balance like sticking around top and sapping XP versus like going to help like what's usually your offlaner. You ended up TPing mid this game just because your mid was getting gone on at the time, which was kind of just a reaction to what was happening. But like if nothing else is happening, those are the two things that you're kind of balancing, is like, how long can I stick around top and soak XP? I mean, ideally until you're 6, that's kind of nice if like nothing else is happening and you don't think you can have a big impact. But otherwise you should be like ready to like TP bottom and like contribute to that lane. And that's what you'd want to be doing. And like I said, this game, you just like kind of try to save your Huskar, which I don't think is like terrible to do. And then you just never had a TP again until way later. And then your Viper like griefed like we talked about. But that should be your general idea, is like once your carry leaves, lane top is the position 5. And like really emphasizing that you don't have to like defend this tower. Like they are allowed to show up with a bunch of heroes and take it if you've got like heroes that aren't strong and like aren't capable of like fighting back. So, and just like the trading the Viper, you know, quote unquote defending top versus like Viper's just much better at like pressuring down here and killing whoever's down there for them than he is like chilling up here alone solo defending this tower. Because like a Viper by himself is susceptible to being gone on. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe send this recording to your Viper.
Okay. When you actually flamed him in like I said earlier, in the replay review you did for me like last week or the week before.
Oh right, yeah, because you showed
for making bad TPs. He was a DK. And,
okay. So
you said he was greeting us by TPing then too.
Did you
so
show,
I'll mention it. I sent the video to my team. I was just like, hey, maybe you guys should look at this. I don't think they ever did.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's their loss. All right, we'll look at Bun. Are you still here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll look at your other game.
Oh yeah, this game's a fucking unmitigated disaster. My bot lane were just screaming at each other in voice the entire game, and so I was incredibly distracted.
You gotta mute that, bro.
Yeah, I should. I play like way worse if there's like that shit is going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very distracting. All right, so you're with a Jug. You're against like Tusk
Silencer.
Tusk Silencer? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you think this lane's gonna go? Just...
I think we're favored. Oh yeah, that all chat. Yeah. I mean, I think we're favored just because we have like multiple dispels against a silencer. Like they should, like, obviously we're double melee, so silencer gets to just glaive us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the dispel factor is greater, and we should be able to win this lane.
Okay. I'm not really sure. I don't see a lot of Omni Knight played. I don't play a lot of it myself. I really don't like this hero. My win rate with Omni Knight is like 65% or something. But I just really do not like playing this hero.
I don't play it that
so
much.
boring.
I just felt like trying it because I hadn't seen it in forever, but I knew it has a high win rate, so I was like, hell.
Yeah, well, I haven't played him since the Hammer of Purity got like reintroduced. Or remade, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
It's like a pretty good laning ability, but you don't put more than 1 point in.
Right.
Weirdly, the old Degen aura would have been probably better this game because we had PL issues and the like attack speed like minus would have been good. We were like really ahead at one point in this game and we dove through. It's unfortunate.
I don't think what happened here was good for you guys at all.
Do you think I should just run back and TP'd out instead of salving?
No, I think that was
I
fine.
wasn't sure.
I think that was fine. I don't like wasting your TP here. It's actually really annoying to waste your TP because then you have to like somehow slot in 100 gold TP like in the first like 4 or 5 minutes, and it feels really bad to try and do that as position 5 right now. Like whenever I TP back to my lane, I'm like, this fucking sucks. So I think this does not.
I didn't see where like
Tusk wasn't here.
Yeah, that's
for whatever reason. For whatever reason, he wasn't here. Which
if
is like,
I hadn't aggroed
makes
this
sense.
creep, I think it would have been good. Maybe.
Yeah, I think as soon as you have this aggroed, you need to like not aggro anymore because this is like just pushing the lane way up. Well, it was still gonna push anyways.
How does? Oh yeah, why the fuck does that range keep following me all the way in? That I was kind of griefed by that.
Yeah, I think that ended up being really bad though.
I don't know what
you're,
this
like,
is.
in no position to like.
Why are they both chasing me all the way over?
I don't know. This
so
is
bad.
really bad for them. Is your jug even
Immortal
doing right
games,
now?
guys. Don't even worry about it.
Wait. What is happening? What?
Also, why isn't he just hitting those creeps? Like,
I
I'm
don't
so
know, dude.
confused. Like,
Oh,
he's like,
wow. Just some wonky ass play. Alright, so
I think everybody was distracted by the bottom lane, to be honest. Like,
a little bit late to the poll. Feels bad.
yeah.
I think I'd definitely be
Yeah,
looking to
Pisces,
pull again here.
that's not just you. I'm chronically late to polls. I need to work on that for sure.
Yeah, I don't think this is good. I think you just need to pull again here. Because this situation, like, they can't really, like, go on your jug. And now you guys are just, like, laning here. Which is, like, really bad. So, like, as soon as you don't get that pull off... Here, I think you could have run this way. Maybe you wouldn't have gone all. You could have gone one more.
The problem is I didn't have a tango.
You don't have to have a tango. It's just
There's a little path
Really?
right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just...
Oh.
Right there. You just walk through it. On the
I
left.
can't see your thing,
Well,
unfortunately.
I know, but you can see on the screen, right? The little pathway I'm talking about.
I'd have to look at it in game.
Wait, I think your pings will show up. Do you want to just ping on it?
No, I can't. I can't ping at all.
Okay, well, I believe you. I haven't actually played support in a couple of months, so.
But like here, there's nothing you're gonna accomplish by like laning down here, and you have 3 creeps.
Yeah.
And it's gonna shove super hard. So all you can hope is your jug doesn't feed here, and like maybe he doesn't get all these CS, but like that's just life because the pull was missed. You just have to pull again. Because like laning up here is just so trash. Because like your hero only works if you can like kind of have space to like run around and like chase the silencer so that he has to run away from you. But like he doesn't have to do that with like how close to the tower he is. And if you're not looking to pull the small, like you at least have to attempt to pull the large here. It's just like a total.
Yeah, it's a grief.
There's like nothing else that could happen in this scenario. I feel like, like either they do that or they do nothing and it's still bad. Okay, CTB, stack maybe? No, a little late to the stack. So this is a situation where I think you could kind of run at the silencer a little bit. Like, not a lot, but, because you've got 4 creeps. If he's not going to zone your jug, then it doesn't matter. But if he does, like, posture to zone your jug, like, you can, like,
The thing is, I'm not.
it.
If I was level 2, I might. Yeah, okay, I get level 2 here.
Yeah, it's a little rough. You were very underleveled. Yeah, no, it's just super awkward.
I don't think I can try to stop that pull. Like,
no,
I can
no,
try.
you totally
Like,
die. You should pull here, though. Yeah, you're, like, not looking to do your own pulls at all. You definitely should have pulled small there.
got it.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah, because how this lane is shaken out in the first, like, 3-4 minutes is that you guys are, like, behind and they have the advantage. So to, like, mitigate that, like, I would just be going for my own pulls and kind of, like, just playing around the pulls and, like, make them, like, kind of deal with their own waves, like, on the side, right? You're, like, kind of trading. Like, you're getting some gold from the farm and they're, like, kind of controlling the lane.
I was thinking a lot about how to set up the, like, spin plus my E kill.
Right, like that, like this. This is good.
But I need to not think about that when the lane is so far up.
Right, yeah. It's like first fix the lane, then like then go for the attempt. So you're gonna pull here. This is good. It's fine. It's kind of on your jug to not die here. If he dies, that's kind of life. He didn't die.
Yeah.
I've definitely looked to play the pull here. I would always look to play the pull
I noticed that he was like running at the creeps, and I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I just let psychos be psychos, but this is like golden XP for you. That like, and like your jug in theory should not be taking that much damage here. If he does, that's just kind of on him.
Got it.
Because now nobody's getting the golden XP from the pull, which is like, I feel like it's a pretty big factor in the pull. Like, I would only come over here if, like, we were, like, doing well and I had, like, kill threat on them. Like, I'd do the pull and then run over here if I thought, like, they were out of position and they could die. But no other reason would I do that. This is fine. I can't really, like, fight you on top of a giant creep wave like this, so this goes really well. It's a nice shard, actually.
So our, like, abilities are just really strong around this level.
Yeah.
I might have been able to save that guy, but that's just a mechanical thing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so you're gonna like sit here and farm this, which is reasonable. It's a lot of golden XP. Your truck's up, not coming back to lane. Goes mid.
Yes, he basically stops. He decides to just not come to lane anymore. I think that's, if I remember correctly, I think that's what happens. He just like decides to hit the jungle, and I got really confused. I was like, "We can lane. We're strong."
It's like our lane was just starting to go well. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I was like, "No."
I think I would stay here for the XP for these 2 creeps, and then if you have time, like pull or like pull the large. I think, like,
yeah, that's actually
especially
especially bad because
it's like not
so
ideal.
close to 5. There's like no reason not to get level 5.
Yeah. Okay, but you do pull. You don't get the whole thing. I'd be like aggressively farming this pull. Now your jug comes back. Oh, you blocked the big camp.
Which maybe I shouldn't have because they're just like terrible at farming it.
I think it's kind of fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
you were like really late on these pulls, unless you're purposely going for half pulls.
Yeah,
It
as
seemed to be on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Getting like a lot of solo XP here. Wow, that's unfortunate. That was a nice global, actually.
yeah, I got.
Radiant's middle tower
I
is under
probably
attack.
could have just immediately run up and pressed a button. I should have been thinking about global.
I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I think your Jug is just like massively like misplaying. Like he should have just been at the lane instead of you. Like, I don't know why he's like down there fighting them instead of just farming creeps, but it's like life.
I was kind of confused for the second half of this laning phase about that. He just like didn't want to be in lane. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll farm.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Maybe I'm supposed to be bot.
Yeah, that's
That
like
is
the only
it.
other consideration, but I think you were fine to not go before. I was kind of like looking at the map and like you were just like in a free lane, which like you don't really want to leave a free lane as position 5. Like if they're not pressuring you and you're just getting a bunch of farm, like then you don't want to like go bottom, like we talked about in the Pisces game. But, like in that game, like he was like Avenge who like would have just died if he had stayed in his lane versus this lane, like it's like kind of different. Where you're just like not peer pressuring you that much. So like I am looking for you to like go bottom at some point, but I don't think you needed to yet because then there's all that fighting.
Yeah,
Stuff.
I think that's even one of the strengths of Omni Knight is that you're extremely difficult to kill early game, so you can sort of be in lanes that normally only cores can be in.
Yeah. Okay, so you walk bottom here. That's good. Except that
Oh my god.
Nobody
This I was so confused. They were like playing down here the whole time contesting this guy, and then I came down here, and then like oh my god, I was just baffled by what was going on.
yeah, this is.
It was so bad.
Dire's top tower is
I
under
don't
attack.
really understand what's going on here. Can't offer
Neither do I.
advice. This is just like one of
I
those
don't.
games.
Yeah. This is. I'm just gonna chalk this one up to this being a pub and not an RD2L game. I think we should go next and just watch their Pisces replay. They're more interesting anyway. But yeah. So okay, I mean, I think the main takeaway is like just really focusing on pulling for the next few games because I think that's the main thing I'm rusty about. It's just like
Yeah.
knowing exactly when I need to reset the positioning and like think about it ahead of time enough that I'm there if it's a full pull. Honestly, one of the reasons I do a lot of partial pulls is like the timing is easier.
Right.
I mean, I think they're good separately, but you sort of default to it because it's
right.
easier.
I default to full pulls honestly. Because like I said, I'm usually like aggressively like farming the pull. Like I just get golden XP that way. And then like yes, your creep wave's not gonna die, but then when your creep wave like runs back and then you guys kind of have a double wave, it can like open up aggression while there's no pull camp left anyways.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
tend to default to half pulls, I think, because I really like fighting a lot in lane, and it splits up the enemies so that you can 2v1 them. But
How
that
does
might
this-
not even be correct in this like healer support meta.
What do you mean by a half pull splits up the enemy?
Oh, because one of them will typically run over to like see what's going on with the pull, and the other one has to be at the wave, basically because they have creeps in 2 places. And then you can basically you and the core can both go on the same person. I did this a lot in like party queue with my friends, but like it's not as good in pub, so maybe you shouldn't do it.
Right. I guess that kind of makes sense. Alright.
I have a quick question, if it's all right.
Sure, man.
So the games we've looked at so far, the lane's generally been pushing every time. If the lane's pushing in, you're generally supposed to like give your core the experience and stuff. But where'd you get your experience in gold from then? Like, because you can't pull if the lane's pushing in. I guess I don't really know what to do if like they are constantly shoving in the wave.
Well, giving your core solo XP is really something that should only happen when like they're safely farming under tower, which like definitely does happen sometimes, but usually I mean, it kind of depends. I feel like it would depend on the scenario, because like I don't think very often they're like just shoving into you and you're like your carry is like constantly just safely farming under tower and like leaving you with like literally nothing to do. And it can kind of depend on the hero too, because if you've got a hero like a Jug or a Void or a Lifestealer, a lot of these like melee heroes, like if they're safely farming under tower, like you can just pull anyways, because like if the enemy, assuming the enemy's not pulling, and you can get some golden XP that way, or otherwise you'd want to be like fucking with the enemy pulls, preventing them from pulling, because presumably they don't want to like just feed your carry a bunch of free CS under tower. But like generally you're looking to pull sometimes, and if that's a scenario where your carry is just like getting massive, then eventually they're just gonna like leave the lane and go jungle, and then you can sap XP in the lane, like kind of how we talked about, where you're left and you can kind of sap XP till you need to be somewhere else. Or if they're a hero that wants to play in their lane a lot, then you need to go look to rotate to another lane and kind of just chill and sap XP that way. Like, okay. I had a game I covered in one of my videos, actually. It was like my Undying game, where it was like some really high MMR players, and we did well in our lane, and then I left, and I was Undying, and I was like level like 3, almost 4, like just hit level 4, and it was like 7-8 minutes, and I felt really useless, but like I didn't need to be in my lane anymore, right? And I didn't have a lot of XP, so I literally just kind of sat bottom as Dire. So I was like playing around my position 3 offlane Beastmaster, and I was kind of just like sapping his XP. I was like kind of vibing, like just sapping XP. And sometimes that's like all you can do, right?
Yeah.
Like if you need XP, like you just need to find sometimes you can go like mid if your mid is like going to do something else, and sometimes you can like kind of go bottom if your offlaner is like chilling or whatever. You kind of just need to find the opening on the map, and it's not going to be the same thing every game. So it's kind of hard to say without having a specific example.
It's just something I'm going to need to work on. I don't even have a specific example. It's just something I've been thinking about.
Yeah. Well, did you want to look at another replay, Pisces, or do we want to stop? Because we don't have a third person to look at a replay for, so...
I guess... Sure. I'll do one more. This one was the game right before the last one, and I felt like we did really well in lane, but then I looked at like net worth graph and that kind of thing after the game, and we did not do as well as I thought. So it's just another like me not understanding the laning stage very well. So I was +5 Dawnbreaker with Jug carry against Pudge 3, Grimstroke 4.
Okay.
And like we were able to kill them a couple times, but then the Pudge ended up having more net worth than my Jug by the end of it, which was like fine. It wasn't like a huge difference, but I still feel like this could have gone better.
Take a look. Can always go better.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Pudge Grim. Got these items.
30 seconds to battle.
It's like kind of reasonable. I'm not sure what the build is on position 5 Dawnbreaker item wise. Should watch. Z Quixotic just made a video on +5 Dawn, I think.
Dubu's also been playing her like a ton on stream.
Yeah, I haven't picked up the hero. I'm really bad about like picking up like new heroes. Like
She's
they're really strong. I just like don't play them.
Do people get Q at level 1 on 5?
No.
She's pretty standard because it can help you secure the range creep by just standing on top of it and using your Q. This lane I was debating because it's kind of iffy to run into them, but I decided on it anyways.
Got it.
Interesting. that's your reasoning. I guess it's okay. I think your W on average is going to be like way more impact though. So the first thing I do here is like go check and see if they blocked my pull. That's like really important to do is position 5. Is like know what you're working with, right? Okay, so you did see it there. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but now you know that you have a pull to work with.
Yeah, that was checking it.
Okay. I don't mind what you're doing here. I think what you did here is good. You like kind of hung around and you like played to make sure they weren't like gonna go on your jug, and then you like came and pulled at just about the right time. So that's pretty good. I would not be queuing up this regen. Like you bought these tangos. This is some really nice damage. That's good. But like when you're sitting at 2 tangos and a salve and full HP, like don't buy more tangos. Like just buy them if you need them, right? Like if you're looking for a way to spend your gold, I mean, kind of depends on how you think the lane's gonna go. But like I don't think there's any item you need right now. You could look to like complete wand. You could look to, you know, pick up like a windlace or just save for boots. You could even pick up like some stat items. Like if you're eventually gonna get this soul ring, you just pick up a casual gauntlet. And this is just dependent on how the lane's going, right? But full HP, a bunch of regen, a stick that's going to get more charges. Like, you don't need more tangos right now. So if you can kind of see that, you definitely want to not overbuy regen if at all possible.
The twin shall not thirst for long.
Army. I think you're like kind of okay to like be a little more aggressive in this situation. Not like way aggressive, but like I think you could like walk this way and kind of fuck with whatever he's doing. Like if Pudge wants to walk over, it's just like gonna give your jug free CS, plus if he walks over too much, like he's gonna start losing creeps under the tower. So like in this situation, like he can't really like just come fuck with you that much. And even if he does, like you have like a lot of tools at your disposal to like deal with it. I think it's just kind of passive play for me here.
I was just a little worried about the rot Inkswell combo.
Yeah. You're a tanky hero though. Like I don't know if you. I mean, hopefully you kind of vibe in that. But you got like a magic stick and all your spells. Like if they try and go on you and your jug comes over. It's just like kind of understanding like the limits of your hero a little bit. But I don't think that like necessarily works out great for them unless you like kind of massively fuck it up. So this is very unfortunate because now you have no courier and you have no sentry. I guess they body blocked. Get the big camp pull off, which is kind of nice.
That was a nice pull from Peter George. Stick support play.
Nice dodge, nice dodge. This is where all your... Like if you didn't have those extra tangos, that would have been your last tango, but you could have just salved up there. And you would have been fine.
I think something's coming up where George flamed me. Because he said I wrecked his lane because here they go on me, and so he decided to tank the hook. Don't know, like I don't think he had to do that.
Well, I would kind of agree that I don't think what you do here is like good. Like, they have a huge wave coming into you guys that your carry is about to get a farm under tower. So, like, this is the situation where you are going to want to, like, give him free XP. And your only priority in this situation is that they don't pull the hard camp. That's, like, the only thing you need to do. And ideally, like, once these creeps are, like, under the tower and they're not diving him, you're, like, giving him free XP, which means you're, like, kind of playing, like, here. Right? So...
I know I was out of position, but I feel like him running in to tank the hook and losing all his health was not necessary.
Right, but I'm saying that this shouldn't have happened in the first place. Like, he only had to do that because you were not doing the right thing. So, like, it's not
I
on
think you guys
what he did.
Both misplayed.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, like,
yeah,
here, like, you should just be looking to run up this way and be over here. Because there's nothing that you're going to get accomplished over here. Like, you're not in position to block the pole. You have to walk through the creep wave to do anything. You could possibly like screw with the aggro. There's just like no good outcome to you like playing the right side over here at all. You have to like look to move this way and like play up here and make sure they don't go for the pull. Yeah, because like it kind of looks like you're posturing to be aggressive, but when they have 4 creeps and they're both full HP, like there's just not a good time to be aggressive. Like you can take this trade 30 seconds from now, after these creeps are all dead to the tower and you're playing on this wave and their next wave, you can make the same play with equal numbers of creeps and it would be fine if you're looking to be aggressive in the first place, which is kind of what it looks like you're doing. So yeah, I would say that, because like if he doesn't help you there, you actually just die, I think.
Is it, I guess my thinking here is just, is it better for me to die or for him to lose basically his whole HP?
If I were him, I would tell him to ignore the moron support.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell him. I'd be like, your support is feeding, and it's not your only obligation is to like not fuck your own game.
Yeah, you're also really close to your boots. Like it's way easier to make psycho plays when you're not about to get an important item.
Yeah. I mean, just nothing.
Definitely
about,
100%
like,
messed up here.
Yeah. He should not have like doubled down on this for sure. Like his obligation when his support's fucking up is to like make sure that his own like resources and health doesn't get fucked up, which is what he did. So like he messed up too, but you know that's not really helpful.
No, that's not even unimportant. I was just.
Yeah, because see, like this, like your aggression, like kind of worked on this next wave, even though you had gotten really low before. So imagine you just hadn't messed that up and then just like done the same play like after. You guys would be like way higher HP.
Yeah.
You kind of recover because Dawnbreaker is just like a busted hero. Luckily. All right, so you just go pull here, 100%. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Oh, that's weird. I clicked on you. Long Drake's items. So you're getting boots, clarity, horn, sentry, 2 clarities. Pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. Lol, they're trying to fight into a Dawnbreaker. You don't have mana, which actually fucks you, because you had mana. Easily would have died there. Oh man. I think with a stick you could have dove him. Your stick was coming off cooldown. That's okay. That you definitely shouldn't have done. That definitely greased your carry. Like just like pushing this even faster. Like your carry's about to TP back to lane. Like I'm not saying he's definitely gonna get these creeps, but like even if he doesn't, the time it takes for these creeps to kill this creep then this one, like the next wave will be meeting like right around here, and then he's happy. Versus like you shoving this. Now he's gonna come back to lane and look at where the creeps are gonna meet for him. Like what?
Okay.
Like what? If I'm him, I'm like, what is my support doing? Like now I can't lane at all. So like, don't look to shove the way. Like you can look to go for the last hits on the CS while he's not there, but don't like shove it. That definitely hurts. All right, so you drop a ward. I think this ward is okay. I actually think I would prefer a ward like over here, because if you're gonna leave this jug, which isn't like, I'm not saying this is like terrible to like kind of walk away, although given that they both came back, I don't think I actually kind of like you moving away at this point, because like you missed the rune timing, right? There's nothing you're like, there's no timing that you're like hitting by like making this rotation right now.
Also, it's a Storm Spirit who's more likely to TP to tower.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like against like a Storm, like this jug is gonna die if Storm TPs into this tower and like goes on him and like gets a pull from like Fog before Jug can get spin off. So like a ward to like kind of scout those rotations is gonna be a little bit better than like this. Like yeah, maybe Storm gets a rune and walks, but like typically Storms like Bun just said, they kind of like TP in to make those like gank plays.
You can also sort of take advantage of the fact that the lane is so pushed in. You can just walk right up to the tower true sight radius and place your ward. and it'll see all the TP spots, and they won't know because the like it's sort of a side benefit of the bad positioning, is you get to place that ward.
Right, of the lane being pushed up super far. So you just come drop a sentry and walk away. I guess you felt like you wanted to do something useful while you were there. Okay. Yeah, getting kind of short on mana. I maybe would have picked up like a raindrop. Hold on real quick. I actually just want to check Dota 2 Pro Tracker and see what's going on with Dawn 5, because I actually don't play this hero like I said. I feel like in my games, like nobody plays Dawn 5. Maybe because I'm usually 5 and I'm not playing it. So nobody really buys Soul Ring. I guess they just get 1 mana boots.
Holy Rocket, and then either straight Ags or mech Ags.
Why is this broken? Okay. Is it kind of broken? I can't tell whether they're position 4 or position 5. Yeah, I mean, you're going the right items, like rushing mana boots with wands. It doesn't show like people pick up raindrops. I think a raindrop could be okay though. Or even with a jug, you can consider going like a Bassi. Like a Bassi kind of would have been good this lane, because you both really like the mana. If you're playing a 5 that really likes mana, like Wyvern, Jakiro, Dawn, I mean most 5s, and your core really likes mana, and you're planning to like kind of play with them a decent amount, Bassi can be a really nice pickup if the lane's going well too, which it like kind of is for you guys. It's not going badly. You don't want to waste like 450 gold or whatever on a Bassi when the lane's going poorly, but it's going well like this. You can kind of do that.
That actually reminds me of another question I was hoping to ask. So sometimes people go Bassi like pretty early on in the lane, and then sometimes people go for a Null Talisman. What causes you to choose one versus the other? Like they're both kind of like, one gives you obviously more stats, but
Is what hero?
otherwise I don't really know the difference.
Like is it Dawn?
No, just like generally as Pause 5. Like for example, I think Dubu in a match earlier went Null Talisman on Warlock. And
I think it's just when you like think the stats would be useful. Like if you're like harassing, I mean, you know, like what other reason would there be, right? They both give mana regen, but the Null gives 5 damage and 40 HP versus the Bassi only gives the mana. So I'd be interested to know who he was playing with, but like presumably if your like core doesn't need a lot of mana, then like you don't need to go Bassi, because like Bassi's an ore item that's better when your core needs it. So if your core doesn't need the mana and it's just you, then maybe the stats are a little bit nicer.
And then kind of on a similar note, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's fine. I was just saying Warlock gets so many right clicks in that's got to be one of the only heroes that's good on. Is like a super long range.
Yeah, I've seen Dubu actually buy it on Winter Wyvern too, which that was really weird. Just like Winter Wyvern. I mean, with your
That's
Q,
wild.
I guess you do get some clicks on, but you're not like trading when you're not in the whatever his Q is called. So.
And then similarly, there's like, I get that some people buy Wraithband if they're against like a lot of summons, because it helps with like the extra armor, getting down the summons, being able to click them a lot. But then sometimes people buy Ring of Protection, which is, I guess, just a more defensive, cheaper version.
Like it's a support?
In that case. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really buy either of those. So.
Okay.
I don't really ever go for that kind of style, so I'm not really sure.
It's just something I've seen recently, and I just didn't know where that was coming from.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. So here, I think... Alright, just to like go over this last 2 minutes real quick. Like, going for this Grim, and it like didn't work. But I would be looking to like go play for pulls more. Like once this guy TP's out, right? You're like out of here. Like I just go look to play for pulls. Still, Like when you're in a lane that's going like well, kind of like this, and they're not really directly contesting you, this is like how you amp your own game, is you just pull, like just chain pull. You can even drag the big camp over and just kind of farm it. You just like farm the pull. Because like he's pulling this and you like weren't back. I think if you had ran straight back and instead of going up, if you would like come down from the Grim, I think you would have been in time to pull this.
Yeah.
But instead, you're not in time. I don't even know if you were looking for it. But your Jug doesn't really need you in lane. So you're kind of doing nothing here. You're like running to your clarity, but like here you should be like looking to pull again. Like the only two things you should be considering are like pulling, and then if one of their heroes seems like they're overextended, and you can go kill them. Those are like the only two things like on my mind right now. You don't really have enough mana to look to rotate. If you had more mana, you could also be like looking to rotate. So like here you get this D ward, and then you kind of go for a stack. Like it would have been nice to get like a pull off at some point there. So Pudge is doing Pudge things. He like farmed your small camp, I think, or Jug farmed it. I'm not really sure. You could have looked to pull the big camp, because you kind of have gotten like no XP in the last like 2 minutes. Like you were really high level for the game state, and then all of a sudden you've like gotten like no XP. And like the pulls are like kind of just what keeps that going. And they've actually blocked your pull now, which at this point it's like who really cares about dewarding it? But I guess you are going to deward it. It's nice for your Jug if you deward it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Got your 6.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm not sure if anything else particularly interesting happens. Like, laning just kind of ends. We start fighting more.
Yeah. No, this is good. You kind of like stay down here, which is like kind of what you want to look to do on Dawnbreaker. You don't have to like go run to the other lane, especially when you're hitting 6 at a decent timing. So I think that was decent, pretty good. You could have just increased your efficiency a bit, a little more pulls there. And then there was that one big mistake where you kind of just like caused you both to like lose a bunch of HP when they had like 5 creeps and you had like, it was about to go under your tower.
Yeah. But then like if you look at net worth, like Pudge ended up still beating us out for the most part. Oh, when I first looked, I thought it was worse than this.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
But, like,
a lot of like
yeah.
in the last couple minutes, like you've kind of like not been doing a whole lot. Because if you go back to like when, like this is like kind of the point where it seemed like you guys had like a decent lead. Oh wow, your Jug is just like completely. Is he like not getting any CS? What's going on? It's not 100% on you. Wow, you're juggling a 16 CS at this point? Hold on. Let's just like watch this back real quick from their perspective, the Jug. Like kind of fast forward what is happening in this lane actually. I thought he would be doing decent, so maybe he's just really bad at CSing or something? I don't know. I don't really know. Okay, it seems like you're just really bad at CSing. You just missed like 3 free CS. So you're doing that. Just looking for his own pull. It's like fine. This is the point where you guys kind of get fucked. Yeah, now we can't like contest any of these CS. So like your mistake.
Cost a
That
lot
was
of
like
creeps,
6
yeah.
CS that like he just wasn't even able to try and contest. Which is a lot. Gets the kills here. Where's he going? He picks up a Wraith Band. This doesn't make any sense to pick up a Wraith Band here. I don't understand that at all. But what's he doing? It's like he could have come over and farmed the pull here. Okay, so he like tries to connect it. Dies. Yeah, you kind of grief his farm a little bit there. Only a little. But now their lane's like up here. Yeah, now he's just like running around. He could be like a little more focused on the CS, or like if he can't walk into lane, like he could just be like, he could have killed the small camp back there. Alright, he's just missing a bunch free CS. Yeah, his CSing is really bad. If he was better at CSing, he's have like, I think he's missed like 10 free CS probably. If like you hadn't done that 1 or 2 mistakes, plus he was better at CSing, he'd have like 40 something CS right now. He'd be like the second highest, no question. His CSing is just really bad.
Okay.
It's just kind of unfortunate. So they blocked it. So yeah, I think it's a little bit on your jug. Obviously those mistakes we talked about still happened, but he missed a lot of free CS here, I think. We've all been there.
Yeah. Thank you, though. That's a lot of good stuff to think about.
No problem, man. All right. Yeah, we can probably stop here. We don't have a third person.
That's good. Thanks for the coaching.
No problem, man.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, I have a chat question. I don't know when this was. I don't hear a sound. Well, obviously, but like I feel like with how little chat messages I would ever get. Any tips on how to play a losing lane as an offlane? This guy says. I don't know if he's still here. Is anybody still watching the stream? You guys can go if you want. On the off chance that this guy is still here, I'll answer your question. Play for pulls, recover, focus on lane equilibrium, and, you know, ditch the lane and go jungle if you need to. That's your answer. Without any further context on the question itself. Oh, he is still here. I was the Underlord. Turkey Master? Oh, he's one of your teammates.
Oh, that's Chris. Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
It's
Oh,
the
We talked
Viper.
about
Give it,
you. Oh
under
man,
the
you're gonna have to
flame.
go watch this recording, Chris. You were spoken about some of your teepees, but
Yeah, that's actually in this Dawnbreaker game. The other lane for us went very badly.
very badly. I'll look at it.
It was
real
against a
quick.
Dazzle. It
Just
was
'cause he's here.
Underlord into a Dazzle pause 5, and it was a
gets
bad
his
time.
booty slap. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a lane where you can do normal Underlord things, so I think you'd want to just adapt, right? Maybe instead of going this double bracer into treads, you'd kind of just want to go, like,
Boots.
I don't know, like, yeah, Ring of Health, Boots, Soul Ring, and then kind of look to just, like, farm this jungle camp, and then, like, clean up the wave when they push it in, and not look to, like, play aggressively. It's kind of weird because you're with a Caudal, and you'd think, like, Underlord Caudal can, like, shove it in really hard. That could be the alternative, is if you guys are synced up and you think this is going to be a hard lane for you, you can identify that ahead of time. You can, like, say, like, hey, let's just push the waves so that they can't be aggressive on us. Because when you, like, passively... What is happening? When you passively play the lane, like, normal, against a hard lane, like, it's not going to go well, so you have to, like, try and do something different. So, like, shoving it in when you, like, normally wouldn't can, like, kind of prevent their aggression, because if you have a bunch of creeps, like, they're not going to want to be aggressive on you, or any trade they do take is going to be worse. Yeah, Dazzle's giving you the business, and you're flying out bracers. Yeah, you're not, like, flying out the region that you need. Yeah, instead of, like, going this bracer, yeah, you can't deny All Bloodseeker CS, because he's just going to be too strong, and he has high base damage, and they have the Dazzle. So it's really important to, like, consider the lane you're playing in, and, like, if you can actually play, like, the normal way that your hero wants to play. So you're just, like, learning that, right? You said you didn't realize how strong Dazzle was, so now you know for next time, right? If you're against a Dazzle, and you're against kind of a strong, you know, melee right-clicker like Bloodseeker, you have to be like, okay, well, maybe I can't, like, play my normal way, right? So, like, what do I do differently? So, like, get faster boots, make sure you're, like, buying regen to sustain in your lane, and, like, go for the faster, like, Soul Ring, and just play more passively. Just don't look to play aggressively, and look to get what farm you can. Because if you watch, like, high-level players in bad matchups, like, they don't try and win it. Like, what it looks like when a really good player is in a bad matchup is they get farm somehow because they just play really defensive and in the limits of their hero. And it's really hard when you're, like, doing that correctly to, like, completely deny the offlaner, like, any farm. Obviously, if your position 4 is, like, garbage, then it's easier. But, like, you're getting some farm here now, right? But yeah, this double bracer kind of working out. I think it's like going okay. It like starts to go poorly again soon. This is like kind of the whole push it in, right, and then they can't be aggressive thing. That's like kind of what you got going on here, which I think is reasonable. It's very hard for them to be aggressive on you if they like don't have a creep wave. I feel like this isn't going that bad. I guess the Bloodseeker is just getting free farm, and you got ganked by Storm. But yeah, you can't really like shut him down. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He just like hit 6. At this point, I guess it does kind of spiral out of control for you, but like there in the beginning, at least, kind of like play more within the limits of your hero and, you know, play passively. Look to like farm this big camp, right? You shoved it in which a couple times, and then you never really went to go like farm the big camp in the meantime, which is something you can do to increase your farm and get your own net worth higher, right? Like, yeah, he's gonna get his CS under tower because you're shoving it in, but like you can amp your own farm by like getting the hard camp in the meantime. That's how you can also increase your own efficiency. So yeah, but watch the recording on this, and we talk about your TPs as Viper in Pisces game where you were playing Viper. Definitely kind of playing the map wrong, which is making it really awkward for your whole team. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it there, man.